Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Astro Room, where we discuss everything astrology. I am your favorite astrologer, Mel of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So if you are new, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, my friends, welcome to another edition of the weekly Astro Forecast for the week of January 23rd through January 29th. All right, so we are well into the fiscal new year, but there's something about the energy of this week that's definitely going to feel brand new. All right. We have a major energy shift. We actually started feeling it last week, but this is going to be the first full week of all planets being direct. All right. This is kind of a big deal because we've spent the last 6 months, if not longer, with at least one planet retrograde. And by the end of 2022, we had quite a few planets that were retrograde. So we are in a time period right now. We're in a time of energy where things are going to be moving rapidly, where it is go time, where it is time to really get up, get moving, move forward, and manifest some things in your life. All right. So it's an exciting time to be alive. It's going to be a pretty good week. Nothing too crazy, astrologically speaking. So yeah, sit back, relax, get a drink, get some snacks. You might want to get some pen and paper to take some notes because I always bring some really good information to you guys. All right. So of course, before we get into the nitty gritty, some housekeeping and announcements. If you are joining me here on the live, thank you. I appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way in, and also say hi in the chat. Get to know me, get to know some of the other people here. It's a community. We're building a community here. All right. So express yourself, be vocal, participate if you are here on the live. And if you are joining me on the replay, thank you as well. Please also don't forget to hit that like button because I've got these lives, these weekly astro forecasts, they are designed with you in mind to get you prepared for what's ahead, to teach you some astrology, and to get you in the tune of nature. Like, it's interesting because this week I had sort of an epiphany in terms of what I'm doing, not just in my own life, not just spiritually, but with my business as well. And I'm going to be taking a little turn with Divine Feminine Works, but it's all good. And I'm bringing you some really good stuff in the very near future. But I say that to say that astrology isn't just to know what's going on in the sky. It's to know what's going on in the sky, how it affects you so you can use it, right? Because energy is always in motion, right? And one of my favorite YouTubers, her name is Professor Melanie. She's like super dope, right? And she says, your energy is going to be used regardless, right? You might as well use your energy rather than having the energy use you. And that's one of the best things about astrology is that you know the energy, you understand the energy, and you understand how the energy affects you. So you can use it optimally. You can get things done. You can avoid certain things. Like, that's the whole purpose of not just astrology in general, but it's my purpose in bringing this information to you. So I hope that you're able to glean whatever you can from these lives and use the information to your advantage so that you can use the energy to your advantage. All right. So with that being said, I think I said everything I needed for the chat. Let's see what else. Oh, let's let people on Twitter know that we are live so they can come and join us if they choose to, of course. Let's see what else. So we are heading into a new month. You know, February is right around the corner. And so the last Wednesday of every month, I do the monthly astro forecast. So this Wednesday at 7 p.m. here on YouTube, I will be doing the monthly astro forecast for February. So hit that notification bell, subscribe so you know exactly when I'm going live. And going forward, I'm going to be doing something a little different. So if you're not new to the channel, if you've been here, if you've watched any of my previous monthly astro forecasts, I give the general astrology, plus I do all of the rising signs. Okay, I do every single zodiac sign, and I'm still doing that, but just in a different format. So the live is going to be the general astrology for the month of February, and then thereafter, each zodiac sign is going to have its own dedicated video. So you can tune into your rising sign, I'll be premiering those videos right before February 1st so that you can figure out what February is looking like for you. But I'm not going to do it in the live anymore because it just makes the live really long. And then I have to edit the video in order to chop it up for each sign. So I figured I might as well just do a dedicated video for each sign. And funny enough, that's actually how I started on my channel. I started my channel back in 2020. And towards the tail end of 2020, I started doing the monthly astro forecast, and I would do a dedicated video for each sign. And then I stopped and tried some other things, but I realized that people really like the dedicated videos because at least with the general, you get the general astrology forecast for the month. Then you can tune into your particular sign without having to wait for your sign, especially if you're like a Capricorn rising or a Pisces rising, you got to wait all the way to the end of the live in order to hear, the relevant information for you. So I figured I would just do dedicated videos for each sign, keep it simple, keep things a little shorter, give some more intuitive messages. I'm going to be doing a little extra something for each of these dedicated videos for the rising signs. So it's going to be some good stuff. So again, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. All right. And also, if you are interested in your weekly horoscope, that is the wrong button. But yeah, follow me on Instagram anyway, at divinefeminineworks. I got loads of excellent daily content that I post on the regular. All right. But what I meant to do was, if you are interested in your weekly horoscope, then text the word ZODIAC to 855-826-5544. That information will be in the link in the description box below. I text everyone who subscribes their weekly horoscope, short, sweet, to the point, every Monday morning. So if you're interested in that, the information for that will be in the description box below. And finally, if you are new to astrology or if you just need a refresher, I created this thing called the Astrology Basics Cheat Sheet, which basically gives you the quick and dirty on everything you need to know to start studying astrology, namely the 4 pillars of astrology, which are the planets, the houses, the zodiac signs, and the aspects. It's an 11-page PDF document that gives you just a summary of everything that you need to know to start studying, because regardless of what anyone tells you, astrology is definitely a science, and any science requires a good deal of study. It's a lot to memorize, it's a lot to process, and it's like you got to get the basics down before you can move on to more advanced subjects and advanced issues within astrology. So I created this cheat sheet so you can start studying. It's free. Link is in the description box below. All you have to do is drop your email address and you are good to go. All right, so let's chat for a bit, talk about what this week has to offer, particularly the energy shift that I was talking about earlier. All right. So yesterday, the last planet that was remaining retrograde, namely Uranus, finally went direct. And so now at this very point in time, all planets in the sky are moving forward. No Mercury retrograde, no more Mars retrograde. None of the outer planets are retrograde. Everyone is moving direct. And that should tell you something, right? Retrograde is a time when we are introspective, when we review. It's the universe's way of getting us to slow down, to be cautious about things, to really think about things and be intentional about things while these planets are retrograde. Some people hate it, especially Mercury retrograde, but that's just society trying to condition you on some bullshit, okay? Retrograde is actually a really good thing. It not only allows you to be introspective, but it also allows you to redo certain things, to revisit certain things. It may have people coming back into your life. It may have certain situations resurfacing in your life. It's not all bad. Trust and believe. It's really not. And so during retrograde, it's definitely a time for you to work on yourself. It's definitely a time to reflect, to redo. All of the re's are the things that you do when planets are in retrograde. And so by the end of 2022, we had quite a few planets in retrograde, right? So a lot of us may have felt slow, stagnant, like things aren't moving as fast as we wanted them to. And that's by design. That's the astrology telling you to slow down, to really think about things and to be intentional about what you're thinking about and what you're doing. Okay. So hopefully over the last 6 months, even longer, you've taken the time, at least at certain points during that 6-month period, to be introspective and to really think about things, right? And be intentional. Think about where you want to go, what you need to change within yourself, what mindset do you need to have in order to have the things that you want? Because now, honey, now it is go time. Now it's time when things are going to start moving very fast. Not just because of the astrology, but just generally speaking, the vibration of the earth is rising, right? So time is actually speeding up. So a lot of the things that we want, a lot of the things that we're trying to manifest are actually going to show up a lot faster than we anticipate or than we expect, right? But this is all predicated on whether you've done your work or not. Whether you're in alignment with your soul's mission, whether you've been doing shadow work, whether you've been really discovering who you are at your core and why you are actually here. If you've been doing that, things are going to start to pick up really quickly. If you haven't, you almost might feel like you're getting lost in the shuffle, or you're in like a tidal wave of energy, because things, time, situations, everything is going to start speeding up and moving forward. And if you're not grounded in who you are, if you're not grounded in your purpose, if you're not grounded in what you're here to do, it's going to feel like time is escaping you, or it's going to feel like you are subject to the energy rather than using the energy to your advantage. All right. So I get the sense that if you are watching this video, if you are here on this live with me, then you already know what the deal is, right? You've been doing the work, you're tapped in, you've at least got some sort of idea of what you're supposed to be doing, and you're trying to do it or taking steps to do it. So you will definitely be fine, right? And this isn't to fearmonger. This isn't to say that, if you haven't been doing the work, like shit's going to hit the fan. It's just that you're not going to be able to take advantage of the energy, right? Especially if you don't know what's coming. But in any event, this is the week, and it begins now and it goes until April. So we've got a good 3 months ahead of us where we can really make some headway in terms of our soul missions, in terms of the things that we want to manifest, in terms of our desires, in terms of the things that we're here to do, in terms of meeting the people that we're here to meet. This is a very exciting time right now. I'm particularly excited about it because I think that a lot can be accomplished. Like I said, I know me personally, the last quarter of 2022 felt slow as hell. It felt like I was trudging through the mud in terms of things that I was trying to do, because me personally, I was very diligent about what I'm here to do. I've really been putting in the work. I just didn't see the results yet, right? But I definitely feel them coming. And I don't know if you guys feel the same, but there's this undercurrent of anxiety, and not anxiety necessarily that something bad is going to happen, but this anxiety like, things are really about to fall into place. Okay. So if you feel the same, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments below if you feel like things are finally starting to move, or you feel like it's almost like the puzzle pieces are coming together. Let me know if you feel the same, because actually, that's really what's going on, right? So again, this week starts this shift in energy, this forward momentum, this battery in your back to get moving and to get going and to start doing. Like, this is a time of action, okay? Even though Aquarius season is really about the mind. It's about the mental. It's about thinking about the future. But the energy of the cosmos in general is really going to give you a push, and it's really going to give you the motivation to really get some stuff done. So it's a very nice and exciting time, in my opinion. All right, so let's get into the highlights for the week and see what we've got. Oops, wrong thing. All right, so first we have what I like to call love and affection. All right, so Venus is making its way, or her way, I should say, into her sign of exaltation, which is Pisces. So this is like that romance novel kind of energy. It's going to be this love and light, for lack of a better phrase, kind of energy. This love of humanity, this wearing rose-colored glasses, like it's going to be turned up, all the way up. It's like that love energy is going to be turned all the way up. All right. And it's a really good transit, but it comes with some caveats, and I'll discuss that a little later. The next up, I have what I like to call your lucky day, because on Tuesday, tomorrow, the sun is going to sextile Jupiter, and it's going to be a day of abundant opportunities. All right. Now, the fact that you're watching this video is important because it lets you know that these opportunities are going to be coming up and for you to take advantage of them. The fact that it's a sextile means that the energy is available to you, but you have to make use of it. And so some really positive things can actually go down tomorrow or begin to take shape tomorrow. All right. So it's a very auspicious and a very lucky day. And then finally, we have what I like to call time for some action. And this is exactly what I was just discussing before. This is the fact that not only are all planets moving forward, but the moon is in the waxing phase. So this is the time where we're taking action steps towards the things that we want. And Mars not only is direct in Gemini, but it's also going to be sextile the sun. So there's a lot that can be accomplished with the energy of this week. All right. So I'm really excited to be bringing all of this information to you so that you could take advantage of it. All right. So let's get into the week and see exactly what we've got going on. So today we've got the moon in dreamy and sensitive Pisces. Then tomorrow we have that really auspicious sun sextile Jupiter. You're going to want to put a gold star next to Tuesday because it's going to be one of the best days of the week. Then on Wednesday, we've got the moon in Aries, and it's really going to be go time. Like I said before, with all the planets going direct, you're going to feel like you have a battery in your back. With the moon in Aries on Wednesday, that battery is going to be fully charged and you're going to be super motivated and super amped to get some new stuff done or to start some new things. Then on Thursday, we have Venus entering Pisces, the sign of her exaltation, which should be a really nice feel-good transit, but it also comes with some caveats, like I said before. Then on Friday, we have the moon moving into its sign of exaltation, which is Taurus. Then on Saturday, we have the sun square the North Node, which should be a little interesting, but extremely eye-opening and enlightening. And then we close out the week on Sunday with Sun trine Mars. Again, more battery in your back kind of energy. And Mercury trine Uranus, which should be really interesting with respect to what could come up. All right. So before I get into the nitty gritty, let's see who we've got here with us tonight. All right. So I see Philip Boone in the house. Peace. What's going on? I see Ramel here. What's going on? Linda, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining. And JS, hey, how you doing? Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. So let's get into it and see what this week has in store. All right, my friends. So we start off the week with the moon in Pisces. All right. And you'll see Pisces we also got Hollow. What's up, Hollow? I was waiting for you to show up. All right. So we have the moon in Pisces today on Monday, and you'll see that at the top left-hand corner of the chart. Moon in Pisces is very ethereal kind of energy. It's very dreamy. You romanticize everything, right? But not just that, you're extremely, extremely sensitive. Okay. So we are fresh off the heels of that new moon in Aquarius. And so I don't know about you, but that new moon was so informative. I felt like there was a lot that could be gained in terms of thinking about the future plans, what you want the future to look like. And of course, the astrology supports the fact that everything is created in your mind first. And there was no better opportunity to start creating some things, especially some of the things that you want in the future, while that new moon was in Aquarius. All right. So that's sort of the frame of mind that we're in right now. Okay. And so with the moon in Pisces, this is about taking it a step further. So I one of the phrases that I associate with the moon in Pisces is feeling it real. Okay. Pisces is the last water sign. It's super psychic, super spiritual, super tapped into the subconscious, super tapped into your higher self. So that new moon in Aquarius was all about thinking of a master plan. That's kind of how I viewed it. Thinking of a master plan, thinking of everything that you want to manifest, and most importantly, thinking about the future. So now I want you to take those thoughts and I want you to take it deep, right? I want you to feel those things as they are real. This is how you reprogram your subconscious. You feel it real. And there's no better time to do that than when the moon is in Pisces, but particularly when the moon is waxing in Pisces. Because during the waxing phase, that's when we take action steps towards the things that we want. So Aquarius, we think about it. Pisces, we feel it real. We reprogram our subconscious with the things that we want. This is when it doesn't matter what your 3D looks like. It doesn't matter what your reality is saying to you. It doesn't matter if one of your master plans was, listen, I'm going to be a millionaire in this lifetime, right? This is just an example. It doesn't matter if your bank account is overdrawn. It doesn't matter if you are seriously in debt. It doesn't matter if you don't have 2 pennies to rub together, right? I want you to feel like a millionaire. I want you to feel what it feels like to be financially stable and abundant. I don't even want you to feel what it feels like to be a millionaire, because that's sort of looking at it superficially. The reason you want to be a millionaire is because you want freedom, right? You want the freedom to buy what you want, the freedom to go where you want. You don't want to be restricted by a lack of abundance. So with the moon in Pisces, you're going to feel what it feels like to be abundant. You're going to feel what it feels like to be secure. You're going to feel what it feels like to be free, right? This is how you create your reality. These are the action steps that you take toward the manifestation of your goals when the moon is in a sign like Pisces. Because even though the moon is in the waxing phase, and the waxing phase is all about taking action, with Pisces, you're not taking physical action. You're not going out there and talking to people, right? You're not doing anything physically in your 3D to make it happen. The moon in Pisces is all about creating your world on the inside. You use yourself, you use your subconscious to create your ideal world on the inside so that it is reflected to you on the outside. So that's what we're doing with the moon in Pisces. And I love moon in Pisces, not just because I'm a natal moon in Pisces, but because it allows you to tap into your imagination and tap into it in a way that's optimistic and that's faithful. This is the time for you to have faith. This is the time for you to be imaginative. I don't care what it is you want to manifest. You need to dream big. Don't restrict yourself. Don't look at your 3D circumstances and then try to imagine from where you're at. You use your imagination. It's like sitting in your imagination requires you to sit in exactly what it is that you want. You're not trying to get there. You're not trying to manifest it. Moon in Pisces allows you to imagine it as it already is. And that's exactly what you want to do when the moon is in Pisces, okay? Don't obsess over details. Don't obsess over, okay, I want to be a millionaire, so I need to talk to this person or I need to learn this. No, gloss over all the details. Moon in Pisces is not about details at all. It's about the big picture. So just think about the big picture. Think about it in your mind. Feel it real, and so it will be. All right? So that's Monday. Let's keep it moving. All right, so Tuesday, this is the gold star day of the week because we have the sun in Aquarius, sextile Jupiter in Aries. So you'll see the sun at the very top hand part of the chart, and you'll see Jupiter in gray towards the left-hand part of the chart. All right. This is one of the most positive. It's not the most positive, but it's one of the most positive aspects in astrology because it's like you have the energy of good fortune, of optimism, and of happiness at your disposal. But here's the thing that you always have to remember with sextiles. Sextiles are about opportunity. It requires you to put in a little bit of effort. So it's not like a trine, where a trine, everything just flows together effortlessly. With a sextile, it's like the energy is at your disposal. You just have to take the action steps. You just have to tap into that energy in order to use it to your advantage. So whenever you have the sun and Jupiter together, whether it's a trine or whether it's a sextile, even if it's an opposition or even a square, it's all about how you feel about yourself, what you believe about yourself. So with Jupiter and the sun being sextile, I feel like you may have this feeling like you can really do things because Jupiter is in Aries, and Aries is all about taking bold action towards something new. It's like that groundbreaking kind of energy. And the sun has you feeling confident. The sun has you future focused because the sun is currently in Aquarius. And so you really feel like you can really do things, like you can really accomplish things. I think it's going to give you not only optimism, but the confidence to really move forward toward the things that you want to manifest and the things that you want to bring to life. Okay. This is a great time to start new projects. So if there's been something that you've been thinking about, especially if you've been tinkering in your workshop while all of these planets have been retrograde. So if the latter part of 2022 found you working on something, but it hasn't really you haven't really launched it, or it hasn't really gained the momentum that you wanted to, on Tuesday, you're going to want to take any sort of action step. So for instance, if you wanted to start a business, you've been researching, you've been, talking to people, thinking about things, thinking about what you want to offer, what you want to sell. Tuesday would be a great day to either get your LLC, get a bank account, put a business plan together, any sort of action step that you take on Tuesday. It's almost like the universe is going to bless it. It's like the universe is going to see that you're serious and that you're committed to doing something, to starting something new. It's going to bless you. So take significant action steps towards the things that you want to bring to life on Tuesday. You definitely won't be disappointed. And what's also nice about this transit is that it lends itself to people being generous to you. So if you need help from people, if you need ideas, if you need advice, I feel like people are going to be ready, willing, and able to give you those things. So it's going to be in your best interest to be vocal. Okay, remember I said all planets are direct right now. So expressing yourself, talking, communicating, all of these things are not going to be as challenging. You're not going to be met with so much resistance in doing things right now. So this is the time to talk to people. If you need money, open your mouth. Talk to the people that can give you funding. If you need advice, if you need information, and I'm not just talking about from people here, your spirit team as well. I mean, if you have a regular meditation practice, if you're tapped in, then you always have communication to spirit, right? That's never obstructed. But whatever you need right now, whatever information, whatever resources, whatever things that you need to get what you need to get done, people will be willing to help you. So Tuesday, like I said, it's the gold star day of the week. All right. Especially when it comes to people who are in a position of authority. So people who have the ability to say yes to you, grant you things, decide things in your favor. These are the people that are going to be extremely helpful to you under this transit. Now, it's going to be direct on Tuesday. This energy is going to be available to you between Monday and Thursday, between today and Thursday, right? So get out there, talk to people, get moving, because the right people are going to find you. You're going to find the right people, and they're going to be generous. That's the best part. People are going to be feeling a little more altruistic. They're going to be feeling a lot more generous to help you get what you need to get. All right. So it's a very beautiful transit. I'm telling you all of this so that you can take advantage of the energy. So Tuesday, take action steps towards birthing something new. All right. Let's keep it moving. All right. So on Wednesday, we have the moon moving into Aries, and you will see that at the top left-hand portion of the chart. All right. So everything builds upon itself, right? I already told you that this is the first week where all planets are going to be direct, right? We just came off that new moon in Aquarius where you're thinking of a master plan. Then the moon moved into Pisces and you're feeling it real, right? So your head is in alignment. Your soul is in alignment. And then guess what? By the time the moon moves into Aries, you're going to be so amped, so motivated. You're not going to feel good unless you take action. And this is going to be physical action. All right. Because Aries, that energy of Aries is very personal. It has a lot to do with the body. So the moon, anytime we talk about the moon, it's emotions, but it's also how we derive our emotional satisfaction. So with all of this energy building on itself, Wednesday is going to be the day where you really feel like making some moves, and you should. Based on everything I just said for the astrology for the week up until this point, everything is fostering forward momentum. And on Wednesday, it's going to be no exception. We're still going to have that energy of the sun sextile Jupiter at our disposal. So people are going to be generous to us. We're going to feel confident. We're just going to be able to tap into optimism, good luck, and good fortune. And Wednesday, we take that energy and we run with it. This is when we do things. This is when we take action steps. This is when we take risks, right? Because Aries energy is it's bold and it's a little risky. it always takes some level of risk to start something new, okay? And so if you're feeling inclined to be a little risky, if you're feeling inclined to be a little bold, let's say you've had this idea that you've been ruminating on for quite some time, this is going to be the week that you want to take even the littlest bit of action. I'm not saying that you have to go purchase a building. I'm not saying that you have to go even file an LLC. I'm not even saying that you need to do all of that. I'm not even saying that you need to call your crush and profess your love to them, although you may feel like doing that, especially when Venus moves into Pisces on Thursday, but that's another story. But taking the littlest action step will yield big results. I cannot stress that enough this week. So take action, particularly when the moon is in Aries on Wednesday. All right, let's keep it moving. Hollow says, Pops Aries, bold and risky is being polite. Yes, that Aries energy is very bold because, like I said, think of it as the energy of creation. It's like the energy of the Big Bang Theory, right? It's like this out of this world, really explosive kind of energy, but that's how you create things, right? It's that firecracker energy. And that's, again, you're going to have this battery in your back sort of feeling and motivation to get things done. All right. So enter Thursday. And on Thursday, Venus moves into the sign of her exaltation, namely Pisces. All right. So kind of touched on this before, but this is all about love, and love in the very lovey-dovey, romantic kind of sense. All right. But not just for relationships. The one thing I like about Venus in Pisces is that it fosters love for humanity. So Venus is the ruler of Taurus and Libra. All right. So that's pretty basic, right? Now, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, but its modern ruler is Neptune. And Neptune and Venus are linked together. Think of Neptune as the higher octave of Venus. So Venus is love on a very personal level, on a one-to-one level, on a very 3D kind of level. Whereas Neptune is love for humanity, love for the human race, love on a spiritual and universal level. All right. So Venus in Pisces is all about love. It's all about wearing those rose-colored glasses. It's all about, being tender, being affectionate, being compassionate, being extremely creative. Okay. So here's a tip. I want you to look at your natal chart and look at where Pisces is. Okay. Whatever house Pisces is in, that is going to let you know where you can be extremely creative, okay? So while Venus is in Pisces, and Venus will be in Pisces for the next month, give or take, this is where you might want to create something new, okay? So let's say you have Pisces in your second house, all right? So that would make you an Aquarius rising. So if you're an Aquarius rising, Pisces is your second house. So with Venus transiting Pisces, which is your second house, this is being creative that could lead to financial stability. So if you have something within you, let's say you paint, let's say you sculpt, you dance, you write music, whatever it is that's creative, you're going to want to focus on that while Venus is in Pisces, because that's actually going to be activated in your chart right now, but it could also improve your life in different ways. Like I said, if Venus is in Pisces in your second house, it has to do with money. If Venus in Pisces in your seventh house, so let's say you're a Virgo rising, Venus in Pisces means that it's going through your seventh house of relationships, okay? Being creative may attract the partner that you seek. And I'm not even talking about romantic partners. It could be business partners, okay? Your creativity could form business partnerships, okay? So this is a time for us to be very creative. It's a time for us to be loving, affectionate, tender, compassionate, empathic. All of those things, the Pisces kind of energy is heightened when Venus is in Pisces. Now, remember I said that there is a caveat though, okay? So Venus in Pisces, it's like no boundaries, no borders, which is great, right? Because it allows us to be a little vulnerable, especially emotionally, especially when it comes to relationships. We can let down our walls and really let people in. The caveat is you want to keep up some boundaries though, because if you have absolutely no boundaries, you will be steamrolled. This is Venus in Pisces also lends itself to some fuck shit, to some fuckery, like people being taken advantage of, people, wolves in sheep's clothing, right? Because everyone's feeling good, everyone's lovey-dovey, and people can really be taken advantage of when that energy is rampant, okay? This message, especially this caveat of having some type of boundaries, is extremely important when it comes to the spiritual community as well, okay? This transit lends itself to connecting with people, but people not necessarily being their authentic selves. It could be people in wolves in sheep's clothing. It could be charlatans. It could be people just really trying to make a fast buck and really baiting you based on your faith or based on your love or based on your compassion. Okay. So on the one hand, it could be spirituality. On the other hand, it could be relationships. Like the thing that's coming to mind right now is like the Tinder swindler, like people really trying to get in relationships with you to get a green card or to get some money. You know, people are going to be on some fuck shit when it comes to spirituality and relationships for this next month. So you need to be vigilant. It's not to say that you need to close yourself off, right? Because that Venus and Pisces energy, it's not going to make you feel like wanting to have boundaries. It's going to make you want to feel like you want to connect to people on a deeper level, okay? And that's not a bad thing. You just have to take your common sense with you and keep your eyes open. Be vigilant because yes, people are going to want to take advantage. People, like I said, are going to be wolves in sheep's clothing, but you can also have some really dope relationships under this transit. Like I said, with a lack of boundaries, it fosters vulnerability, which I think is like the bedrock for any successful relationship. You need to be a bit vulnerable if you're wanting to relate to people on a deeper level. And this transit is perfect for that. So if you allow yourself to be optimistic and faithful in love and in humanity, okay, but you take your common sense with you and you keep up some sort of boundaries, I feel like Venus in Pisces can be a very beautiful transit over the next month. So you'll want to take advantage of it. And again, look to see where Pisces is in your chart. That will be where you can experience deeper relationships. That's where you can experience a deeper level of spirituality. And that's where you can experience a lot more creativity over the next month. All right. So take a look at that and use the energy to your advantage. All right. Let's keep it moving. All right, so next up on Friday, we have the moon moving into its sign of exaltation, which is Taurus. And so you see at the top hand portion of the chart, the moon will be at 0 degrees Taurus on Friday. So in case you don't know what I'm talking about when I say sign of exaltation, quick astrology lesson. Every sign has a ruling planet, okay? And so that becomes that planet's home. So for instance, Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Whenever Venus is in Taurus or whenever Venus is in Libra, it is said to be in its home sign or its domicile, okay? Now, there's other things, right? When a planet is in the sign that is opposite its home sign, it's known as its detriment. Okay, but we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on exaltation. So a planet has a home sign, right? But it also has a sign of exaltation. And when when a planet is in the sign of its exaltation, it is treated like a king or a queen. It's like having a party hosted in your honor. You're the guest of honor. So everyone has their eyes on you. Everyone is fawning over you, giving you attention, treating you well. That's what it's like when a planet is in the sign of its exaltation. And so Venus is exalted in Pisces, meaning that Pisces is the sign of Venus's exaltation. And the moon is exalted in Taurus, meaning that Taurus is the moon's sign of exaltation. Hopefully that makes sense. But regardless, so like I said, we're building on the energy of the week. So we started off all planets direct. It's go time. We started off with the new moon in Aquarius. We're thinking of a master plan. When the moon was in Pisces, we felt it real. Then when the moon was in Aries, it was go time. It was time to take physical action step towards the completion of our goals or whatever we want to manifest. Sounds good, right? But it also sounds a little tiring, doesn't it? Sounds like there's a lot of go. There's a lot of go. There's a lot of go. And so the universe has a rest period. And the rest period is always when the moon is in Taurus. This is when you chill. This is Netflix and chill. This is being comfortable. This is just powering down, stopping and smelling the roses. So by the time Friday gets here, you may feel, I don't want to say burned out, but you may feel like you've been firing on all cylinders, right? The week has been busy. You've been really motivated to get things done. And then by Friday, especially Friday night, it's going to be a nice night to just chill. Chill in bed, chill with whoever you want to chill with. Take it easy. Take your mind off things. Have some comfort food. Get comfy, get cozy, and just relax. That's the essence of the moon in Taurus. So you see, even nature allows for rest. It's not all go, 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 especially if you tap into like Instagram and stuff like that, where it's all about grinding, hustling. You got to do this. You have to have like 12 streams of income, which is like, But anyway, that's another story for another day. Nature is like, all right, there's a go time, but there's also a rest time too. All right. And you get a rest period every month because the moon is in Taurus every month. The moon is in every sign every month. So whenever the moon is in Taurus, that's your cue to rest and just chill out. So that's what Friday night into the weekend is going to look like. And it may not look like you just literally in bed. This could just be you hanging out with friends, doing something that brings you comfort and joy and peace and serenity. That's the essence of the moon in Taurus. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so Saturday is going to be an interesting transit. All right, so we've got the sun in Aquarius, which is going to be square to the north node in Taurus. Okay, so you'll see the sun at the bottom right-hand portion of the chart. And we've got the north node at 8 degrees Taurus, which you'll see at the top right-hand portion of the chart. All right. So I say that this is kind of an interesting transit because it's all going to be about how you think about yourself. So if you've been doing the work, if you've been introspective, particularly when all of these planets have been retrograde, you're kind of figuring out where you want to go, who you want to be, and who you like, the energy that you need to embody to do these things, right? And so this particular transit, Sun square North node, it's kind of like the difference between who you are and who you're supposed to be, okay? So in the meantime, remember I said before, when you're manifesting, your 3D doesn't matter. All you're seeing right now is just a reflection of your past thoughts. So it has no bearing on the future, whether you believe that or not. It's truth. So when it comes to the things that we want to accomplish, when it comes to where we are headed, when it comes to our soul's mission, we kind of have to be a certain way to do those things, right? A lot of times we have to grow into the person that we need to be in order to have the things that we want, right? And I feel like on Saturday, you're sort of going to be aware of where you are and where you want to be, okay? Now, for some, this can be a little, I want to say depressing or a little disheartening because you're like, damn, I'm putting in this work. I'm not yet where I want to be. I realize that I have to, do certain things or get rid of certain habits in order to have what I want, but I'm not there yet. Okay. And while that may feel disheartening, while it may feel a little depressing, it's very enlightening and eye-opening. Okay. Because knowing the distance between where you are and where you want to be is extremely important because it allows you to recalibrate your master plan. And that's the point of this particular transit. It's not just to say, I don't have what I want yet, or I'm not who I want to be yet. Like, perfect example, let's say you're on a weight loss journey, right? And your goal is to lose 60 pounds. Now you've started already and maybe you're 10 pounds down. You're like, all right, cool. But you're like, damn, I still have 50 pounds to go. Like, this is a lot. This means I'm going to have to keep exercising regularly. I'm going to have to keep watching my diet. I'm going to have to stop drinking, doing all of these things. Like, you're cognizant of what you have to do in the present to get to where you need to go. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing. And it should be a motivating factor for you. Can be hard, right? Especially depending on where this is going down in your chart. But it's really important for you to celebrate your wins, recognize where you are, and keep your eyes on the prize, right? This particular transit is just going to show you where you're at right now, okay? And whether you feel good about it, whether you don't feel so good about it, There's still some work to be done. So don't lose that momentum. Appreciate where you're at right now. And this is going to be a little easier for you to do in terms of appreciating because the moon is still going to be in Taurus. Remember, I just said before, Taurus is all about stopping and smelling the roses. There's this energy of appreciation for what you have that the moon in Taurus allows you to tap into. So regardless of where your mind is at, right? Because your mind may be saying, all right, I'm trying to get here. I'm trying to get to point B. I'm at point A. I'm not quite there yet. Damn, I need to do this. I need to do that. The moon in Taurus is like, hold up, chill. We've come this far. We can take a rest. We can appreciate what we have. We can appreciate how far we've come. We know we have some more to go. We're not just going to totally derail ourselves and not do anything, but we're going to appreciate where we're at. So if you use the energy to your advantage, I feel like the sun square the north node, it's going to allow you to see where you're at, recalibrate your plans, and keep that momentum going. All right. That's the major thing with this transit. Keep the momentum going. All right. Let's take it to Sunday. All right, so on Sunday, we've got the sun trine Mars. All right, so the sun is still currently in Aquarius. It's going to be trine Mars in Gemini. And Mars just went direct in Gemini like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Then we also have Mercury trine Uranus. So Mercury is currently in Capricorn. It just went direct about a week ago. And Uranus is in Taurus. Okay, so Sunday is going to be an interesting day also. All right. So first off, I just talked about how you're going to be able to rest, right? Moon in Taurus is all about stopping and smelling the roses and chilling, right? Yeah, it's not going to last too long because sun trine Mars, it's going to recharge. It's almost like that moon in Taurus is going to recharge your batteries. And then by Sunday, you're going to be full speed ahead, ready to go, okay? What I love about any sort of transits having to do with the sun have a lot to do with how we think about ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, and our self-confidence. And I feel like because the sun is in Aquarius and Mars is in Gemini, it's all about our thoughts. So we're thinking positively. We're thinking positively not only about ourselves, but of our circumstances and our future, most importantly, okay? So this is going to allow you to think of new plans, especially plans related to the future. I feel like there's going to be this ability to it's like your mind is going to be firing on all cylinders. Okay. I feel like you're going to think of 1,000,001 things that you want to do, and you're going to have the physical energy to put some action into those things. Because remember, the moon was in Taurus. So this was your time to chill, power down, stop and smell the roses. And then by the time the new week starts, you are ready to go. All right. Now keep in mind, don't allow your mind to run away with you. Mars in Gemini lends itself to a monkey mind. Okay. You may have been experiencing this as Mars has transited through Gemini, and this has been going on since August. Okay. So firing on all cylinders is great, but you don't want to live in your mind because your mind is running a mile a minute, okay? Meditation is going to be key. Meditation is not only going to ground you, it's also going to focus those thoughts. Rein in those thoughts. You really don't need to start 1,000,001 projects right now. Focus on maybe 2 or 3 and get the ball rolling with those, okay? You're going to feel like you want to take action. And here's the thing. Because Mars is the word I'm getting is feral, very feral energy planet, you're going to want to listen to your instincts. If your instincts are telling you to do something, if your instincts are telling you to start something, do it, okay? Especially with the sun trine Mars, because you're not only going to feel like you want to do it, you're going to have the self-confidence to do it too. Okay. Just keep in mind, you don't want to spread yourself too thin. Okay. This is about thinking a lot of things, taking an action on a lot of things. But if you start a lot of things, you might not finish anything. So again, rein in that energy, focus, ground yourself with some meditation. You'll be good to go. All right. And then finally, we close out the week with Mercury trine Uranus. Okay. And this is allowing you to open your mind to new possibilities. Anytime you have Uranus in the mix, things can change suddenly. expect the unexpected, but most importantly, it's all about leaving room for spirit, okay? Pay attention to your dreams, regardless of where this is going down in your chart. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to the messages that you're getting from your spirit teams, because they're going to be giving you some gems, okay? Over the weekend, keep a dream journal handy. Really get into your meditation, because the messages are going to be flowing like water, okay? And these might be off the wall kind of things. Okay, I don't care what your spirit team tells you, write it down. It may not make sense now, but it definitely will make sense in the near future, all right? Your senses are going to be stimulated. Your intuition is going to be on point. Your psychic abilities are going to be enhanced. This is a great time to study. This is a great time to use technology, especially if you've got that battery in your back energy and you are trying to do all of these things. One of the best things to do right now, tap into some AI. Allow AI to help you. This is the essence of Aquarius season energy. It's the essence of the age of Aquarius energy. And it's also the essence of this Mercury trine Uranus energy. All right. So allow technology to help you at this time. Study, learn, and gain insight through interesting people, okay? Like I said, anytime you talk about Uranus, it's all about leaving room for the magic, leaving room for spirit. Spirit might bring some off-the-wall, wackadoo person talking some shit to you that's going to be super valuable. You know how sometimes, especially like in New York City, if you're walking and a homeless person starts talking to you, your first instinct is like, yo, what are you doing? Like, don't talk to me, right? You know, you ever had a homeless person come up to you and they just give you a gem, or they just tell you exactly what you need to know? Like, that's the essence of Mercury trine Uranus. All right. So don't discount anyone. Sometimes these people are angels in disguise. All right. And they've got super important information to tell you. Don't discount anyone. Don't think someone's too weird. You may hear a news story or guess something that sounds out of this world. It's probably meant for you to hear. All right. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, but most importantly, keep your mind and your spirit open, because the messages are just going to flow. All right. And that is an excellent way to end this week of action, this week of, intuition, this week of go, this week of manifesting, this week of thinking of a master plan and feeling it real and then executing on it. That's the essence of this week. If I had to sum it up, the energy of this week, think of a master plan, feel it real, and execute. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me for this edition of the Weekly Astro Forecast. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important piece of information that you can use going forward. All right, thanks again for tuning in, and I will see y'all in my next live. All right, take care and have an amazing week.